What's in the news?
Colin Ferguson, the man who is accused of killing 6 people on the Long Island Railroad. You want to work with him?
Yeah, I want him in my movie.
He is about to start his defense today. He's representing himself in court, and the prosecution has rested its case after presenting a number of eyewitnesses who fingered Colin as the shooter.
Ooh.
What?
Fingered Colin.
Oh, gee.
That's sexy.
Well, you just calm down. Anyway, he's been identified by a number of people.
Was he fingered? I didn't know you could finger a guy. I really didn't know that.
Hey, now.
Right.
Well, anyway, he's been identified by a number of people, and the prosecution has rested his case. Now, Colin will only call, from my understanding, 5 or 6 witnesses, but his star witness is going to be himself.
That's going to be great. Is that going to be on TV today?
I don't know. He will call himself to the stand, however, but he cannot examine himself. He cannot question himself. Well, anyway, he's going to have one of his legal advisors do the questioning of himself as he sits on the stand. I don't know. He seems to think that his case is going quite well so far. I really do believe he thinks he's pretty much got it licked at this point, and his testimony, I suppose he thinks, will seal the case for him, and he will get an acquittal. I don't know why he's going to open himself up to cross-examination by the prosecuting attorneys, but it should be interesting.
Somebody doesn't fix his equipment, I'm going to go on the Long Island Railroad.
I love all the court analysts who say, actually, he's done very well on cross-examination during the first part of the trial, asked some very key questions.
Really?
And didn't make any mistakes.
Really? Gee, it looked kind of dopey to me. Hey, Colin, you hear that?
I would like to call me to the stand.
Yes.
Was I me when you were you that day, when you were busy watching I Shoot People?
Right.
Do you see you in the train that day? I do not.
So what are they saying? That any mental case can be a...
Well, so far, his marks are better than Chris Darden's or Johnny Cochran.
Yes.
So in terms of black lawyering, Colin Ferguson is doing the best.
Yeah. Very admirable. Too bad he didn't kill a zillion people.
Role model.
Right. Role model. Excellent role model.
Anyway, here's a little bit of his opening statement.
There were 93 counts to that indictment. 93 counts, only because it matches the year 1993.
See,
wow.
There's a big conspiracy surrounding him. So he had 93 counts against him because it was the year 1993.
Wow.
And if you look at me, I have more hair than Marsha Clark.
Oh, my.
So yesterday he only called this one witness, and then he couldn't decide whether to call his next witness, which would be himself.
Right.
He's having some kind of an argument with the judge. He says he hasn't had time to prepare the case.
Right.
But the judge said, well, you had time to go on the Today Show and all these other shows. You had the whole weekend to do publicity on yourself. Why didn't you prepare for your case? So the judge gave him 24 hours to decide whether he wants to take the stand or not, and we will hear that decision today. Yesterday in court, Colin also stood up after this one witness left the stand and asked that the case be dismissed because very few of the people who were shot on the Long Island Railroad could identify him as the shooter.
How great will it be if Colin Ferguson, like the Marx Brothers movie, actually puts himself on the stand, jumps up, and starts asking himself questions? I mean, how great will that be? That'll be the single greatest thing anyone has ever done in the world.
Or uses a mirror or some wacky.
Something wacky where he just, he gets up, he jumps up, and he goes, well, did you shoot these people? He runs over his chair, and he's like, how could I have shot them? I was not even in this area. Okay. So you do admit that you are not the shooter? Of course I am not the shooter. So then who are you? Would you repeat the question? I said, who are you? I am the other Colin Ferguson.
Your Honor, I have a hostile witness.
Yeah, right.
It's you idiot.
Steady. Answer the question. Answer the question, reggae man. Don't you call me that. He is a racist, Your Honor.
He was so funny because he said in court while he was trying to get the case dismissed that this was not a hate crime or a race crime because I submit that one of the victims was Hispanic and one of the victims was also of African descent. So it doesn't seem to me there was any targeting of other people or certain people by this shooter.
The shooter. Let me qualify. I have not had time to talk to me yet. I need to discuss my testimony with myself.
Very good.
It was very funny because the prosecuting attorney stood up and said, "Excuse me, everybody has come up and pointed you out as the shooter."
I admit, I submitted two Colin Ferguson.
And we found papers in your pocket in your own handwriting indicating that you hate whites, you hate blacks, you hate everybody.
I do not. I think the blacks, the whites, the Chinese, Asians, everybody should get together and stomp on the kikes.
There you go.
My name is Colin Ferguson. Yes, spell it. C-O-L. Did you say C? Yes, followed by O and L. Answer the question.
That's going to be the world's greatest testimony.
So we'll have to see whether he decides to put himself on the stand.
That's going to be better than any episode of Baywatch.
And consider, I did not eat the bodies.
When is that? Tomorrow?
Today.
Oh, today. I'm going to watch that. They run that on my Long Island channel, Channel 12.
They also say that they expect him to wrap up his defense and go to closing arguments before the end of the week.
And it's real funny because the prosecuting attorney just sleeps through the whole thing practically. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, well, he has to stay up and object now because Colin is asking all the wrong questions.
I let him ask whatever he wants. And the judge, he just is like the most mellow guy. He just like kind of watches.
Can you imagine just putting up with this without getting irritated, which he does?
Is it true that sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't?
Well, what's your answer?
Well, I understand on Larry King, he did say that all the witnesses were nuts.
Could be.
Then you do admit it.
He's going to call you as a witness. I wish he'd call me as a witness.
I would love to come in and testify.
Me too. I'll go with you.
Robin Quivers stole the gun while I slept.
They should get a cover charge to see this trial. It's so good they should put it on pay-per-view. I swear.
We should be making money. I see that they're also having problems with the OJ case. It's costing a lot of money. They say it's cost $2 million already.
Put it on pay-per-view.
And they're having to go to the state to ask them to pay for it because they don't know where the money, in the sheriff's budget at least, is going to come from.
1.7 mil. What's up?
They had one day they had that one of the women who got shot on the train.
Yeah.
And she was being interrogated by Colin Ferguson, and then she said something and he objected.
Yeah.
And the judge is so cool. He
objected to his own question.
Right. Yeah.
I saw that.
I did too.
But the woman got all flustered, and the judge reached over and he put his hand on the woman's hand, sort of like. He looked at her like, listen, I know he's nuts. You know he's nuts. Let's just get through this.
Let's get through this together.
But I would like to ask you, withdraw.
Yeah, that was great. He says to her, I saw it too. He was like, now, you said that you saw the shooter. Who was the shooter? She says, well, you were. He goes, I object. So the judge goes, well, you can't object. You asked the question.
Yeah, that was your own question.
And then he looks at the judge like, well, thanks a lot. Well, why don't you just sink my entire defense?
I want to cross-examine Robin. Now, Robin, you tell the truth. Were you or were you not upset by the picture in Howard's book?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
I was
You're
very
under oath.
upset.
You're under oth.
Very upset.
Right.
I think it was Colonel Mustard in the library with the lead pipe that killed these people on the train. The train.
Oh, let's go on. So
go on. I don't like that testimony. I object.
Train.
Go ahead.
Those two cases are continuing.
The choo-choo train.
Hey, on our phone right now is Colin Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson.
Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, suddenly everybody wants to talk to me.
Yes.
I mean, Mr. Ferguson.
Right, Mr. Ferguson. I'm not going to...
Your client, yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and...
You want to talk to my client, Mr. Ferguson.
Right. Mr. Ferguson, now, everyone saw you shoot. You are the man who went on the Long Island Railroad, a black man, You shot up white people. You are a mental case.
Those white devils.
What white devils? You're now admitting...
I love this country.
Yes.
Mass murder equals superstar.
Yeah, now
Book deal made for TV movie. White America loves to blame their troubles on a sleeping black man.
All right, now listen
Now,
to
in
me.
my sworn testimony,
Right.
in my deposition,
You deposed yourself?
I minded my own business
Let
on
me.
the 533 out of Hicksville.
All right, here's what I want to do with you.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to give you a forum now to tell me
Yes, man.
exactly what happened that night. Defend yourself, will you?
There were 94 counts against me
Right.
because it was the year 1994.
Right.
In their testimony, they say 6 people were killed.
Right.
That is because my IQ is 6.
All right.
I want people to know I am an Aquarius.
All right.
I love Baywatch, and I use Prodigy.
You do use Prodigy.
I'd never committed this murder. It was not me. It was a man from Pluto. You ask any Haitian cab driver.
All right, now listen, this is
I
your...
want everybody to know that I'm doing better than Jackie Martling. I have a daily show on Court TV.
Right, now listen to me, Mr. Ferguson. Listen to me.
Why is he laughing?
By the way, Mr. Ferguson, this is going well. If it doesn't go well, slip it to
Sometimes I
Larry.
don't know if it's me,
Yeah,
if it is me or Mr. Ferguson.
yeah. Okay, now listen
It
to me.
depends on who is the witness and who is the badgering the witness.